Let's go. Hey. Welcome back again, guys, ladies, gents, and everybody in between. Welcome back to Cyber Digest. It's a live stream today. You know, our weekly dose, or your weekly dose of consumer tech, everything tech related. And yeah, got some gorgeous faces on your screen, of course. Myself, Khoto Mashiani.
That was a nice spin on the line. But so welcome to our live stream, everybody. Back with the most, where we kind of take you through this maze of the tech galaxy, and we are your guides, so you never get lost. And it's mostly Silicon Valley, but sometimes stretches far into other deep territories. Joining me today, of course, is Khoto, and I'm Wandi there. And so
Yeah, so we got, wanted to keep it light today, wanted to keep it kind of casual today, but still very informative for you guys, of course. We never want to slack when it comes to educating you guys and bringing some new information, things that you guys never knew before that now you do know through us. So two things I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
The first one is Elon Musk's AI. Of course, Elon Musk is always going to be in the news, trending for a whole lot of different reasons.
Bruh, me, I don't like that guy.
I get why you don't like him.
Respect
I have the
him.
same sentiments.
Respect him, innovator, but yeah.
He's weird.
He is, man.
He's a weird gent,
Just
man.
as a character, I just, yeah.
But we can't deny his innovativeness. That's one
yeah.
thing we can't deny.
Oh, yeah.
So essentially, we're going to be touching on his AI. We know that the news of the past week is that he's been approaching OpenAI, trying to buy OpenAI for $97.5 billion US.
It's crazy how much money some of these guys have to just like splurge.
Loads of it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, $97.5 billion.
That's a lot. So my whole question or my whole thing was, why is it that he's not investing in his own, AI products, which is XAI, also known as GROK's AI?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the two are the same, because I know XAI was founded in 2023, I believe.
Yeah.
And I believe at that time he had already acquired Twitter.
Yeah.
You guys will correct me if I'm wrong. But now claims are coming out that GROK's AI has beat DeepSeek and OpenAI, which I definitely don't believe.
Hey man, I'll take very much with a pinch of salt.
But who knows, dude? Pinch of salt.
Actually, who knows? Because how many reports have been coming out within the past few weeks that, this AI has outperformed that AI, and this one is better than this one. This one beat the past AI Geek bench score. So it is possible, but I definitely would take it with a grain of salt.
I don't believe it. If you're asking me, I personally don't believe it. But we did touch on it quite a bit on the latest episode of Cyber Digest, which we recorded yesterday. You guys will have access to it on Thursday. On the Mpoda Gada channel. So please stay tuned for that one.
Tap in. That was actually a pretty interesting episode.
It was. And if you guys are the ones that are tuning in for the previous episodes, we appreciate you guys so much for tapping in. I believe it's over 1,300 of you guys that have watched our previous episode, which is...
Much gratitude.
So much gratitude,
Wait,
guys.
what did you just say?
What did I say?
Did you just say 1,300?
Yeah, 1.3.
My brother, respect our grind.
That's a lot of people.
It's not 1.3.
What is it?
It's 2 point something.
Oh, we're over 2K now.
What are we talking about, bro?
Damn,
like people.
Okay, you see, I did not know that.
Yeah, like,
I didn't know that.
So
I'm not one to watch the numbers, more so who is behind the numbers. So if it's 2,000 people, that's 4,000 eyes. We appreciate each and every one of those eyes. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys.
Truly grateful.
We'll continue to keep providing you with as much value as possible, as much education as possible. And we have to scour the net every single day, every single weekend. Research. We spend our time, digging into what the latest tech innovations are, what's really going on in the tech industry. And sometimes there isn't much news, but we know that there is someone sitting at home waiting to hear from us. So we're going to continue to do that. So we'll get into Elon Musk's story. But the other thing that I wanted to touch on was something that's not necessarily trending, but is, I think, quite fascinating, which is the concept car industry. For those of you guys that maybe don't know what concept cars are sort of cars that are developed by different types of companies that are not made for mass production, but more so just to test the market, to see what the future of the automotive industry could look like. And I really want to tap into that, get into the crux of what that kind of industry looks like.
Quite an interesting topic, especially because I think everybody would kind of relate that they've kind of come into contact or interacted with in some way a concept car, of course, visually, and especially as kids, man, when you're in high school, you always kind of, you'd see them in magazines or in or on the internet, and you're like, such a cool car, but then you never see it.
You never see it on the road.
But you see the designs, and it's such a cool thing. And
yeah,
but I don't know if it's more so an age thing, out of interest, or we're in a time where it's not something that's spoken about, or it doesn't pique a lot of interest anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a car geek because I'm not a car enthusiast at all. I don't know anything about cars, which is embarrassing.
Listen, I don't think you should be embarrassed because I'm not either. I just like beautiful things, and cars is definitely high on that list.
If you're going to have a lady in your life and she wants to buy a car, or she's
going to be asking me for all the advice.
Like, what are you going to say? Like, I always think about it. Or how are you going to even advise her?
Hey man, I'm just gonna say what I know.
It's cool though.
Otherwise, I'm gonna call one of the homies.
Ask
him for like a list of things to say.
Or ask AI.
Yeah.
So
why am I still wasting time making a phone call when I can just go Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini, what's good?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, there's also one last thing that I want to touch on. I think we can actually start with that one. Is something as interesting that's happening in the science and technology field. China in Wuhan. Where that virus came from.
This guy just laughed.
I'm so sorry, China, but I respect you guys still. So they just created an invisibility cloak.
Oh, like Harry Potter,
like Harry Potter type.
That is the craziest thing.
I know. I bumped into the story today, and I was like, "Where? How? Why?"
That's crazy, bro. Because I think just growing up, like everybody wanted an invisibility cloak, like the one that Harry had.
Of course.
When he'd get up to no good, he's out there with the Marauders map,
walking through the snow.
Hey, bro, that's crazy. How is that even is it even possible? Like as far as the physics goes, like you'll unpack it, I guess.
We can try and unpack it, but I think at first let's start with the video. Let me try and share this video with you guys.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you really really deep it. Let's try and get this open for you guys.
Yo, China really is about just constantly trying to do something.
Yeah, they're always pushing the envelope, which I love.
That is true, man.
They are truly always pushing the envelope. Okay, let's see if you guys are going to be able to
What are we doing with invisibility cloaks? Like,
yeah, what are they actually
apart from movies? Like,
I
get the appeal in movies. Like, it's cool. I'm like, oh, man. But in real life, though, are we sure that is a good idea? Because I mean, there's nothing good
that can come out of an invisibility cloak.
Nothing, bro. Like if you can name me a pro that serves the good of just people's interest and humanity for an invisible, like what would it be? Like
maybe espionage.
How is that a good thing?
Espionage can be a good thing if you're spying for the betterment of somebody's protection.
I don't think there's no such thing though.
Oh, you don't believe so?
I mean, espionage is more of a geopolitical thing. So it would only it happens in the case where other nations or other kind of organizations are trying to get something from one another. And so, it's always two sides of the coin. Like, one can say, well, they're doing it out of I don't know, man, some sort of bad interest or whatever, and the other could say the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is that there's never really a clearly defined black and white, like, oh yeah,
we need the invisibility code for this specific thing.
Which is a good reason. It's never a good reason.
Okay, so I'm just showing the audience here the video that I found
actually
of them actually using it.
There could be a good reason.
Let's break it down after the video.
Okay. Whatever, and the other could say the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is
我现在就是在场给大家展示了下半身的消失图。
So you can see his legs are literally.
That's crazy, yo.
And then there's this video of someone walking in and behind digital. I also don't understand the technology behind it. How possible?
From how they kind of flipped it. I think it's a matter of the clothes is built in such a way that it's
so you can see his crossing.
That's crazy, yo. I I'd want that in is instead of getting 90% tint, I get invisibility windows.
Instead of what? You'd get invisibility windows?
Like the practical reason why I'd get this is instead of getting 90% tint on my car windows, I'd get
invisibility cloak.
And it's like I'm ghost riding. Like there's nothing inside, but I'm inside.
That's a concept right there. That's a concept right there. Now you were onto something with that one.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, no. So that was just something interesting that I wanted to share. That was happening in the tech and science field. I feel like that's a lot more science than it is just tech. But yeah, essentially the next one I wanted to hop into the story rather is GROK. So for those of you guys that don't know yet, GROK is Elon Musk's AI software or whatever you want to call it. I believe they're on 3, if I'm not mistaken. So GROK essentially is a generative artificial intelligence chatbot developed by XAI based on the large language model of the same name. It was launched in 2023, as I mentioned earlier, as an initiative by Elon Musk. The chatbot is advertised as having a sense of humor and direct access to X, formerly known as Twitter. We tried this out while we were together, and it seemed very biased to Twitter. It seemed extremely biased to Twitter.
That is precisely true, because there was a tweet where Elon Musk kind of posted, like, well, he tweeted or he X'd. I don't know
He posted.
Yeah, he posted a screenshot of essentially him kind of just testing it out before the release, and the bullshit that it wrote is actually crazy. Dude, like, he asked it a simple question of, like, I don't know, what does it think about certain information, the information?
Yes.
And it literally spoke like him. The things that it was spewing out is the same rhetoric that Elon Musk.
Like his tone.
Yeah, legacy media, woke, all of that stuff. And it was a very opinionated answer that it gave. It wasn't very objective. It sounded like Musk, and it sounded like sort of propaganda, and also just his ideological take on a lot of things. It just sounded like him. And so it's always just ironic when Musk has always just championed uncensorship. I don't know, is it uncensorship?
I would say censorship. Yeah, censorship.
No, but I'm trying to say the opposite of that. He's kind of he's championing people not being censored.
Yeah. Freedom of speech
and people not being censored. Yeah, and also non-biased. But he's got this kind of AI model that talks like him, thinks like him, and thinks in his perspective, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, but, it is kind of well. And also, I think I questioned this as well with you and Mpo yesterday, as to saying, if he has this AI, yes, he might be behind, but why is it that he's still looking at investing in open AI if he has his own AI already done?
That is true. It might be a case of, how do I describe this, man? When you just have a big kind of corporation trying to swallow another corporation and just beef itself up.
Yeah.
Like what is this? Like Waystar trying to buy Jeez, man. What was that other news entity on Succession? I forgot it, but
I still haven't tapped in yet. I still definitely want to actually sit down and give Succession a chance.
You are not serious. You don't want to.
I'm clearly not.
He's out there watching
really
Insecure
and other things.
Yeah. But
all right. So I know essentially what they're on now is GROK 3.
Oh, okay.
The third version of GROK.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you did see the articles that came out last year about them building data centers and stuff. As far as I know, yes, as far as I know, that was specifically for Tesla. That was my understanding of it.
Okay.
But it seems they have been working on building those data centers, and that's what they use to power up GROK 3.
Okay.
So essentially, it's saying here, I'm reading through TechCrunch.com. It's saying GROK 3 is an order of magnitude more capable than its predecessor GROK 2. Musk said during a live stream on Monday. It's a maximally truth-seeking AI, even if that truth is sometimes at odds with what is politically correct.
Yeah.
Okay. GROK 3 is a family of models, to be precise. A smaller version of GROK 3, GROK 3 Mini, responds to questions more quickly at the cost of some accuracy. Not all models and related features of GROK 3 are available yet. But essentially, it's going to be available on the App Store, I believe, and also possibly through Twitter as well.
Do people actually even use GROK?
I have not met one person that said
I haven't met one person. Maybe because we're in Africa and
I think it's also not very reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it as something that's reliable that I want to turn to as my trusted AI model.
Why is that? That's kind of interesting.
Maybe it's because it's tied to Elon Musk. That might be on one side of it. But on the other side of it, I haven't used an AI model that's tied with another software. In this case, it's X. So I've seen through Twitter, like on one of the latest updates, GROK is at the bottom of the bottom panel next to the search button. But I don't remember even clicking on it, even being curious as to what it is.
I feel like it's just his fans that use it.
Possibly them. But I mean, even myself as someone that likes technology, like surely I would have tapped in, right? But
yeah, we need to do better. We
do need to, just for research purposes at least,
test it out and give the people like a kind of reasonable review.
Yeah.
So GROK, man, GROK 3, you said.
GROK 3. Guys, if you guys are using GROK 3, be better than us. Actually, be informed. Let us know what it's about. Just give us deeper information onto why. Not what it is, but rather why it should be used over ChatGPT, Perplexity, DeepSeek, all these other, established AI companies.
But for now, though, do check out deep research on Perplexity.
Yeah. Do that.
It's
Please
not even an ad,
actually do that. That's not an ad because it's a serious product that you guys should tap into, high key. So just to browse over so we don't give them nothing on GROK 3. Essentially, GROK 3's capabilities are powered by the Colossus supercomputer, utilizing 100,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs to provide 200 million GPU hours for training. That's a lot of computing power. I see that they are also using the data centers that they recently built to power up GROK AI. So you can see Elon Musk is trying to get his foot into the AI race.
Yeah.
He's definitely far behind, I would say, and which is why he's trying to invest in OpenAI. But it's great to see him try and make these efforts. I mean, he's proven himself quite a lot in the past when there were a lot of naysayers.
Do you think he's gonna find a way with the OpenAI acquisition?
I think he will, but I hope he doesn't. I think he will, but I really hope he doesn't. I feel like it's gonna ruin a really good thing that we have.
I think OpenAI sees. I think the board and shareholders of OpenAI see OpenAI's value far beyond
what Elon sees it as.
Yeah. Or the initial bid. I think they see it worth hundreds
of billions.
Yeah.
Several.
Yeah.
And he just pushed it, 20 billion above its market.
I don't think 100 billion is going to move the needle.
But I think he also does have a long-term vision for what could happen with AI, and a lot of that might seem to be more so on the side of control as opposed to advancing the human race. Yeah,
and it's also centered in his ideology.
Yeah, but hey,
let's
not become Elon Musk haters, guys. That we should not be known for that.
Yeah,
we want to come to you with
unbiased
opinions
and
things that come with it must be well researched, which I believe we are coming to you with. Yeah. So I'll continue to just provide a bit more of that value before we move on to the concept car side of things. So apparently GROK 3, the latest one that they just released, and some of it is still in beta, so it's not completely rolled out yet. They claim that it has beat GPT 4.0 on benchmarks, including AIME.
Oh?
Yeah, I know, it's kind of crazy. So it did different tests from, PhD level physics to biology and even chemistry problems. It beat GPT 4.0 on
That's
all
interesting.
of those. I think this is something I mentioned as well on the episode that's coming on Thursday, is that these AI models are going to be training off of one another. So of course, a lot of them are going to be beating the previous models, even if it's from DeepSeek, Claude, GPT-4, whatever the case is, Gemini. So it's quite an interesting industry that we are entering right now.
It is, man. It's like when it's almost like when the countries were kind of racing to see who can perfect nuclear arms first.
It feels exactly
it feels like that. Yeah. Like the tension, the build up, and kind of this drama that's unfolded. That's around. I mean, Jesus, man, DeepSeek came out like 3 weeks back or 4 weeks ago, and in the space between then and now, so much has happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the bans in Taiwan and I think it was Italy, and of course the US, which that's still an ongoing thing. You could possibly get 20 years, but it's not a law, but it's something that's being discussed over there. And Elon Musk bid for OpenAI, and the deep research tools that kind of been really like there's so much going on, and it is exciting.
It's a race for who's going to come out at the top. Yeah, but I mean, at least just in closing for this one, X does plan on making this new GROK model open source. Elon Musk did announce that in the coming months, so it's not going to be open source as of yet, but he does intend on making it an open source model.
Yo, we need to launch our own one here in Mzansi, bro.
What do you think that will be? What does that look like?
I don't know.
We don't know yet.
That would be so interesting, and I hope somewhere out there that there's something in development. That would be great. So yeah, man. You got anything nice to say about GROK? Anything more nice to say?
No, we can definitely move on.
Okay. Yeah.
We can definitely keep it moving.
Okay.
Let me just try something real quick.
So you said we are going to talk about concept cars.
That's correct. Just give me one moment. Okay.
I do want to know, though, are concept cars on the market?
That's actually a good question.
Yeah.
Let's find out. I'm actually not sure if they are on the market or not.
Didn't Drake own... I don't know if he does. Doesn't he own like a Maybach concept car?
The one from... What was that music video? For Sticky.
I think Sticky. And I think he also had one on his music video, Laugh Now, Cry Later. I'm not sure. Again...
the Merc.
Yeah, that Merc.
I think so.
For like people who are...
Yeah, it might be for like the ultra rich, the super rich. It might be on the market for them. But even so, I don't know... Because, I mean, if you are selling to the market, it has to be roadworthy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It has to be roadworthy, unless they're using it just to have it posing in the garage.
And so I imagine it doesn't undergo the same tests.
Yeah, as the normal everyday cars. I would like to assume. Okay. Sorry, there was just something bothering me about the screens. I just had to switch them. All right, cool. So, yeah, guys, essentially wanted to touch on concept cars. And it's quite an interesting industry. I think my first understanding or first exposure to concept cars was with a popular YouTuber named Supercar Blondie. I don't know if you've ever heard of her before.
Supercar Blondie, no, but that is Blondie. A nice name.
Supercar Blondie.
No.
So Supercar Blondie, essentially, she reviews, her main thing is reviewing concept cars, I would like to believe. Yes, sometimes she does explore other kinds of cars, but her main thing is exploring, reviewing, sometimes driving just concept cars around the world.
Yeah.
So it is quite interesting, the things that you can see. Like I can play a video for you guys now here on YouTube where she titles it The World's Coolest Concept Cars. That's under her channel. Oh my God, there's a spider, bro.
Are you one of those people? Wait, is it big?
Okay, I killed it. I don't promote violence. Sorry. Jeez. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So essentially, I think this is one of the Maybachs. Oh, it's not the main one, but she did review a car that was similar to the one that Drake had showed on his music video. Was it Laugh Now, Cry Later or something?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the song.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's get that video up for you guys. But yeah, what do you know about concept cars? Have you seen concept cars at all? What's your exploration?
So as far as I know it's kind of like when you get these kind of you get these automotive companies that essentially it's basically also just a means to experiment, to push the boundaries within design and just engineering and see where that goes. And so I've never seen one personally live. I've also never been to a car show. So yeah. And so if I'm not mistaken, was Cybertruck not initially a concept car?
I think so. Yeah, I think obviously because it hadn't been released as at that time.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say that it was a concept car.
Okay.
At that time, they were doing a lot of like testing the markets. That's the time that you'd actually see it in a lot of music videos.
Yeah.
I know Travis Scott and Don Toliver and that whole group had a music video where they had that car in. There were quite a lot of rap artists that started including Tesla's car into their music videos long before it was actually released to the market. But yeah, let's quickly show you guys that video. So this is Supercar Blondie's channel.
At Supercar Blondie, we've really had access to some of the coolest concept cars of all time.
Look at this beauty.
So today, we're going to revisit some of our favorites, explore the history of the concept car, and discover some vehicles that unless we had a time machine, even we weren't able to review. Concept cars normally have a few things in common. They're very radical in design, with unique or expensive materials, or have special features not found on most cars.
And this is where all of the little water veins.
I don't, but that looks uncomfortable.
It looks uncomfortable for someone that would have trypophobia.
Oh, some of these are sexy, man.
So
that looks like
it looks
something
amazing.
out of like a Transformers.
Yeah. A lot of these things look unreal. They look very like it was out of an artist's mind, you know, someone that just had time and money and a budget to play around. And that's essentially what concept cars are. So this lady, Supercar Blondie, she explores a whole lot of these different cars and she's able to experience them live drive. And essentially see and let us know things that will be included into, you know, cars eventually under that brand, other things that won't be. So it's quite interesting. But essentially it's the concept or the understanding of what a concept car is. It's essentially created for creatives, for engineers, for car brands to explore what the future of technology could look like and the future of the automotive industry, what that could look like without the constraint of, you know, the regulations that they have to, you know, adhere to for the road, different types of rules, a budget, having to mass produce the car, having to worry about a price for selling it. A lot of these different factors that automotive companies have to consider while creating cars are essentially scrapped when they're making these concept cars.
And which I do think that is great, that then you get kind of engineers, designers, and all these people
coming together.
And they don't have to worry about production constraints. You know, they can essentially take it as far as they can, really push the envelope and develop something truly unique and special that can even kind of advance even the automotive industry in general and also technology. I mean, if we're not trying to innovate, then what are we trying to do, man?
Exactly.
So, yeah, dude. Have you ever come across a concept car in real life?
Not in person, no. And also, I don't know if we would be able to tell if a concept car is a concept car, because you might have been seeing a car for the first time, maybe.
Okay.
But I don't know. No, I personally have not.
I'm trying to think, is there any other industry where you kind of have the same concept of concept cars?
Before it's actually released.
Yeah, where they kind of have this showcase of the conceptual, the conceptual design or prototype of said product, but a different industry.
So one industry that does actually have it is the Formula One.
Okay.
So in the Formula One, what they do is it's very interesting actually. So in the Formula One, essentially, let's say Ferrari this year is making a car. They're making one specific car for the year. They are confined in terms of a budget, but they're able to create different types of cars that will eventually have features that are highlighted and eventually produced for the mass market, for the normal consumer market.
Okay.
So different things, like it can be a spoiler on the back of the car. It can be maybe a certain type of wheel or rim that was used, a certain type of engine that was used. A lot of them start with the Formula One and somewhat tested out. I put that in quotation marks because the Formula One also does have, you know, certain restrictions on the ways that you can design and build your car for the Formula One.
That makes a lot of sense because I know Formula One, especially just the whole industry itself and just the vehicles, it's a lot of high-level engineering.
Yeah.
Like, you have some of the best engineers just working in F1, so I think that makes a lot of sense, man.
I would say some of the world's best engineers are probably working within the Formula One for different car brands, whether it's McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, or whatever the case is. But yeah, essentially here, I'm just reading up on Formula One and concept cars together. The Formula One concept cars aim... So, also, I forgot to touch on this. Before concept cars, or before cars are even put out onto the Formula One racetrack, tested, tried out, and approved for regulation to be able to drive on the racetrack.
Yeah.
There's also concept cars for the Formula One. So essentially that's like years, if not decades ahead of mass-produced cars.
You got cars that are crazier than just
the normal Formula One cars.
That's crazy.
So it says here essentially that Formula One concept cars aim to enhance racing and aesthetics, focusing on improving aerodynamics to allow closer racing and overtaking. The designs are also target visual appeal and aspire to surpass the look of video game cars.
That's crazy. I didn't know this, man.
At all. They explore different things like aerodynamics, obviously keeping in mind the regulations that they might have. But I don't think there's a lot of that as well within the Formula One concept car side of things. So yeah, I feel like that's a playground for an engineer.
Yeah.
Any engineer would love to probably work within the automotive industry, within the F1.
True. Rather than just being constrained to this place where you kind of have to adhere to all of these rules, regulations, and how it's but then you're in a place where you get to kind of push boundaries.
Yeah. And I think the Formula One racetrack is the place to do that. It's the exact place to do that. So from Formula One concept cars to Formula One cars to the mass market or mass produced cars, there's about 4 to 5 different things that they normally do transfer from F1 cars that eventually get approved for roadworthy everyday cars. The first one is hybrid drive terrains. There's adaptive suspensions, steering wheel buttons, carbon fiber chassis. These are different things that for us now are normal because we see them in everyday cars. But a lot of these things initially were not in everyday cars. They started with the Formula One.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So I know even with the displays that we are seeing now, like in a Tesla or any maybe, I don't know, a Cherry, all these different kinds of cars, these large displays that you see on the dashboard, those were mainly not in the F1, but those were concept car concepts essentially.
Yeah.
Because initially they were not approved for as roadworthy.
Yeah.
Because they were seen as maybe distracting or whatever the case is. But I think car companies found a way to innovate that and merge that with everyday cars.
That's incredible.
Yeah, make it functional essentially. Yeah. So it's quite interesting the way that things move. And if you guys wanted to know the most expensive concept car in the world that exists, I would maybe even put this in the bracket of the most expensive car period, because if you can't buy it, it's like a one of one, then it's very rare and everyone wants to get their hands on it. Can you maybe guess what brand it would be?
I'm gonna say a Merc.
A Merc.
Yeah, simply because I think that is that's a brand where I've seen the most concept cars, like personally. Yeah.
Okay. And where would you average the price? Where do you think the price range lies?
I'm gonna say. So wait, the most expensive car in general.
Concept car.
car. I'm saying maybe like 50 mil.
50
dollars. Yeah.
Okay, you're both wrong. You're both wrong on both. You're wrong on both.
God damn.
So the world's most expensive concept car is actually the Bugatti La Voiture Noire. That's a black car. And it's priced at $18.7 million.
Yo, why did I say 50 million?
I mean, your guess wasn't too wrong. I mean, 50. It was wrong, but yeah.
50. You said 18.
Yeah, 18. Yeah, that's way below.
Yeah, that's off. That's way off.
Yeah, but I mean, I would also have guessed something around that price range. Other ones that follow it is Rolls-Royce Sweeptail, Pagani Zonda, HP Barchetta.
And none of these cars have been on the market or been...
None of them.
Okay.
None of them have been on the market. So yeah, let me actually show this one, the concept car right here. This is the Bugatti. the most expensive concept car in the world.
Bugatti. Damn.
It's quite something.
But it does make sense for Bugatti because, I mean, Bugatti is always, as far as supercar goes, they've always kind of been pushing boundaries.
They push the needle, yeah. They definitely push the needle when it comes to different types of concept cars. So, yeah, I think lastly we can just sort of touch on how this affects you as a viewer, because I know most of us might not ever encounter a concept car ever.
Yeah.
So the way that it would impact us as people that are possibly looking at or eventually do buy cars is it advances different things like the connectivity stuff that we have in our car, phone calls that you're able to make with the car, electrification, moving from gasoline vehicles into electric vehicles. Electric vehicles were always concept vehicles. I think we know that from TV shows and different movies.
I'm sure. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure even just in general, us moving from like manual transmission to automatic was
probably also concept.
Yeah. And then it became something that could shift into the market
and becomes very normal.
Yeah.
So I think it's also very important to study the history of how things were previously. Because you'd understand, like, if looking back maybe 15, 20, 50 years from now, if anything, in the past, concept cars back then were probably things that we already have access to now and see as an everyday norm.
Yeah.
But back then probably was just, maybe there wasn't the budget for it or it didn't fit into, safety road regulations and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think it serves for a number of things for us as the consumer and also the environment. Also helps with sustainability because a lot of cars that are produced way back then versus now maybe use a lot less materials or they use more environmentally friendly materials for the environment now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on today. Just a bit of an interesting topic.
That's an interesting. Hopefully, one day we get invited to test drive one.
I would love to test drive a concept car, guys. If you want to
become car enthusiasts, that would be great.
That might be the next rebrand.
So yeah, man. That was actually quite insightful. Concept cars, but who knew I'd be revisiting that after, I don't know, years of just seeing pictures of it on magazines. But yeah,
it's on cool.
Top Gear. What happened to Top Gear?
Do they still exist?
I think so.
Damn, I haven't seen Top Gear in years, dude.
I think so. Also, people don't care about cars like that anymore.
But concept cars weren't explored on Top Gear much.
Really?
I'm asking.
I don't know.
Wasn't someone that ever watched Top Gear.
Was there a Top Gear magazine?
Yes, there was.
I think then on the magazine they
would explore them.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe as a segment. Yeah.
Anne. Thank you very much, man.
So that's it from us. Guys, and by the way, tomorrow is an important event. Yeah,
tomorrow is Apple's launch event. It's a mystery to us. Apparently, we don't know what the product is. I'm guessing an iPhone SE. Many people are predicting iPhone SE.
Rumor has it, it's going to be nothing different.
I believe those rumors. 100% believe those rumors.
It's going to be exactly the same stuff.
If anything, it's going to be an iPhone 11. It's probably going to be an iPhone 11 rebranded as an SE. And they're going to tell us why they wouldn't change the body because it's environmentally friendly.
My money is on the fact that it probably has a home button.
You did say.
It probably has a home button. Maybe even an LCD screen with a very small battery. I don't know. These are rumors.
I think it's going to have an LCD screen. I don't think it's going to have a home button.
These are insider rumors, guys. Again,
but I think find out with us. Find out tomorrow with us, right? Yeah. We are going to go live as well with that event.
7 p.m., right?
7 p.m. should be the time, yes.
Yeah, so guys, essentially, let's unpack the event together and see what new stuff Apple has for us. You might also like what they have. So, and then, so that's all from me and my co-host, Mr. Mashiane.
Yes, sir.
Guys, see you tomorrow. And, stay tuned. And also don't forget, Thursday, our episode comes out.
Yeah, please stay tuned for that. Have a good evening, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Who's calling my phone?